Hey guys, well it looks calm now, but that's going to change. We got storms rolling in tomorrow, so that's going to be a bummer. But anyway, I think I'll go tomorrow and eat lunch with my brother, so that's be a good thing. Another good thing is I got this Plymouth out. You've seen videos on that last one, and so it's 95% there. A little bit of carburetor work to deal with, and we're going to be rolling. But in the meantime, before I get back into that carburetor, I thought I would share this with you, show you something else I picked up from the thrift store. I've been on a Ager Mission, and I didn't know I was going to be on the Ager Mission. It was something that the path that I went down with these Agers was chosen for me. I did not choose it. I was just a willing participant. So let me tell you what's going on and take you back about a year or so ago. A year or so ago, I didn't have an Ager. I wanted an Ager. I thought that, you know, it would be something that would improve my quality of life somehow. So I wanted an Ager. I wanted a gas-powered Ager. Well, I couldn't find the gas-powered Ager, and I know what you're going to say. Probably you're going to say, well, why don't you just go to Lowe's or Home Depot and just buy one? Well, that's not the kind of person I am. I'm too cheap to do that. If I'm going to buy some sort of big box crap, I'm going to buy it cheap and used and in need of repairs, so I don't have to pay much for it. So that said, first thing I wound up with, numerous trips to the thrift stores, is I wound up with this guy, which is a Craftsman. It says it is a 12 amp Ager, and it's just one of these electrical ones, and I don't like electric yard implements for the simple fact that they have to be plugged in. So, and I hear a train coming. So anyway, I don't like that, but it worked okay. It's just kind of flimsy and loosey-goosey, you know, so it worked okay, I guess, but it got clogged up. So anyway, that's that. And then about a month ago, I picked up this thing from the thrift store also. It's a kind of a step up. This is a gas-powered weed eater power edge with comfort touch anti-vibration handle system. That's what it says there. And it's really comfortable because you can't even tell it's running because it ain't running. And it needs some kind of carburetor work on it. Got it running mostly, but it just runs on the choke, and you saw that video. So we got a kit for that. It's coming in the mail, so we're gonna go in and rebuild that. That's just a Walbro carburetor. And then in the meantime, I was happy with this. I thought I was going to use this forever and ever, and I ran across this guy. Let's tow him in here so the train's not that loud. Maybe we can still see. But what this is a Craftsman Ager trimmer. It's not only an Ager, it's also a trimmer. And it's about a 1997 model. And this is pretty hardcore for an Ager. It's got a control here to engage it. It's got a belt drive down there. Anyway, you can get this thing going, I guess, control your speeds. There's the blade. I'll take a foot right off if you're not careful. So got an angle adjustment down here. It's on 0 now, but you can turn it and turn the blade different angles, things like that. And like I said, that's a Tecumseh 3.8 horsepower engine. There you go. And it really looks like it just wasn't used that much. It just sat around a lot. I'm sure it quit running. Somebody pulled the cord out of it, but at least they left it tied to the handle, so I've got the handle left. They call this a tiller at the thrift store. But anyway, so you just roll this thing around. I'm sure some of you guys will use these, but you just roll it along, and you don't have to try to keep it upright. It just, you know, rolls on 3 wheels. I've never used one. I didn't even know they existed, but they do. So what's going on with this one is, first somebody was pulling the cord out, but I think the pulling the cord out was secondary to something happened inside the carburetor. Maybe got plugged up or something, but I was going to try to start this thing just by wrapping the cord around it. I was going to do a will it run for you. But when I put some gas in it, it just went straight through the carburetor and not over the side of the bowl. So I took that thing apart a little bit, looked at it, and it was missing some components in there with the float, like the pin and all that. It was just, all that stuff was just kind of laying in there. So, okay, that's good. So the choice was either find a used carburetor or buy another carburetor. And so I bought a new cheapo offshore carburetor because I didn't want to put much money in this until I know the engine's good, because it doesn't seem like it's got a lot of compression. But anyway, I will put that carburetor on there and we'll see if we can get this thing running. Now the deal with the starter is I got the starter. I already took that off. I wish Briggs had had this idea to take where you can take the starter right off of it without having to take the whole shroud off. I don't know why Briggs couldn't think of that or didn't care to, but they didn't. But this has got the cheapest of the cheapest starter assembly, recoil assembly, and you know how this works. You just pull it out and it catches, these little teeth catch, and it turns the engine over. But you're supposed to be able to turn this one way or the other, and I don't know, guys. I don't know why I'm like this, but I'm just a person that has to look at things 2 or 3 times to figure out which way to turn stuff. But if you pull it out, it's like this, out this direction, then it's supposed to, of course, rewind it. So I think you would turn it like you were pulling it, and that winds the spring up, but there's no spring tension. It's either come out somewhere, popped out internally, or it broke. And you can buy these things for like the whole assembly for like $20-something, and I really don't want to do that until I know this thing runs. But they say if you pull up the Tecumseh manual for this, the repair manual, it says that you can actually repair this thing. Ager 1 rapid start. Well, we'll see about that. But I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to fix it, see if I can fix this starter. The thing is metal, but this, what it is you look in here, and most of them have like a little nut in here, and then this comes off, and this is metal. Well, there's no nut, and this is not metal. I think the nut is maybe under here. They say you're supposed to peel back this decal, so I guess I'll do that. I'm going to work on this thing a little bit and see where we can get with it. And that's what we're going to do. So I will probably bring you along on this repair. If it looks like I can try to repair this starter without having to buy one, I'll put it up as a video. If not, you'll never see it. I'm just going to guess I'll have to buy another one. Anyway, I got that, and I also got some stuff to fix some other things hanging around in here, like that mower I keep talking about and I've never touched. I've got some carburetor repair stuff for it, and I'm going to sell that mower, I think, because I don't even really need it anymore. It runs great, but most of my mowing now is the rider mower, and I just use these small ones for touch-up, so I use that one. That's the one I want to keep. So put that one on Craigslist and sell it, and then I'll probably sell that one. That's an old mower, and I got to fix the carburetor on this stupid thing. So, alright guys, catch you in a little bit. I know this much: if I had to choose what kind of background noise I'd like to have in my videos, I'd much rather have trains back there than have dogs or a lawnmower or a weed eater. Few of you have asked about Weed Eater Man. I don't know whatever happened to Weed Eater Man. I hope he's still living. He wasn't in good shape. He smoked, you know. I guess that welded rail down there just has one joint in there, and because it's sort of like in a ravine, the tracks are like down. If you walk through those trees down through there, the tracks are like down low. It's not like straight out there. I think it's just kind of magnifying or amplifying that noise. But anyway, you know, one of those, when you watch somebody's video and you get one of those moments that's like a TMI moment, too much information. Well, that's going to be what this is in this video. You see that over there? You see that funnel? I'm not going to zoom in on it. I'm going to spare that for the pipe run out of it. I don't have to tell you what that is, do I? Well, before you say, hey, here's the deal. I have to spend a lot of time keeping my floors in the house clean, so since I drink a lot of water, well, I drink a lot of soda and some water, but I drink a lot. I'm thirsty a lot when I work out here, and I have to call nature. My choices are either every time I have to do that, go inside the house, take my shoes off, walk through there, walk all the way to the restroom, and then come back, put my shoes back on, come back out, put my gloves back on, or I can stay out here and use that. And it just goes right into the gravel beside the building. Nothing gross, nobody sees me, nothing like that. So there you go. TMI? I don't think so. I think it's just enough information. And you know you wish you'd thought of that idea. I don't know about where you guys live right now, but way down here in the south, the red wasps and the bumblebees are trying to take over out here. I ate them, so anyway, I figured we would look into this thing and see if this can be fixed even. I hate that I got to peel my decal off, but supposedly, well, why am I peeling the decal off? I don't know, I hate doing this. Jeez. But the thing is, you know, it's like this, without yakking too much. Either I have to ruin it or I have to throw the whole thing away. So either way, I'm not going to have a decal left that's worth anything. So the hell with it. I guess I'll just... see what's under here. Tell you, I have a feeling that I have to. Well, I guess I could have peeled that off. Hey, you know what? I could probably order another decal. One that says Tecumseh. I can do that. That makes me feel better. All right then. So. This is some sort of piece together, quick produced piece of crap here, so it's supposed to be a way to get this out. I gotta get my pick. Hang on. You guys know what my current song obsession is? Living on Tulsa Time by Don Williams. I used to hear that song 35 years ago and didn't think it was anything. Now, oh boy, I don't like this. So, okay, evidently this. Let's see what's moving here. Looks to me like possibly this plastic thing is like the retainer to keep this whole assembly in here, so I hate to just pick at this and not know what I'm doing necessarily. That white part is going all the way down in there. Let's see something interesting. There's a catch right there. Oops. Did you see that? Must have said the other day is close vision is going away on. Well, it's not just you. Mine has been going away. I really don't think this thing is supposed to be repaired. See, it looks like there's a latch under here. There's a part that you might can get past this. Damn it. Oh, there we go. Got something going. Yeah, the thing, I thought that was shaped so it would catch a little bit right there. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but it's right, good. I didn't break it yet. So now, let's see if we can squoze that down and get this thing out without see if the spring's gonna go flying now. Oh, something just fell. What the hell was that? Oh, where's it? Oh, no. Well, I don't know exactly what that was. Sounded like a ball bearing, didn't it? So, anyway, thank the good Lord for a cement floor. I can hook that up. Alright, so now, get these dogs out. Who took the dogs out? Who? Okay, under that there's a couple springs with, that thing didn't look like they were springing anymore. I wonder if they're supposed to be over. They slipped out. That would never pull those back. What happens if you put them like this, I wonder? Now that's the way they're supposed to be. You see what was going on? This thing has got, there's a little coil spring down in here, and it's got a, like a extended end right here that's supposed to do something like pull these back in, and the way they were in here was that was not happening because they were both just like this. There was no spring tension on them. So now, instead of it just flopping and not even going all the way back in, now it goes back in, and you see, good. I learned something just now. So now we can hopefully carefully pull this out. Hey, I may turn into a small engine mechanic. Ooh, it's coming apart. You know, though, guys, sometimes you don't know what you can fix until you try. It's just the way I always look at things, and I just lost a coil spring down in here somewhere. There it is. You know, if you always think ahead of time about what you have a chance of fixing and what you don't, if you're too afraid that you're going to screw something up and don't try it, then you're just selling yourself short. You don't know that. Nobody knows. All right, let's see if we get something else flying apart here. Okay, so there's the coil spring in here, and it is not broken, but it's been slipping. I was looking right here, it looked like there was a spot broken out right here, but I don't think so. But what it looks like to me, though, is that this end of this coil spring is just kind of slipping there. I think the end of it just needs to be bent over, and we can put it back together and work. See how it's kind of, see how the end of it sort of just spread out a little bit. Needs to be like a sharper angle, but here again, this is going to be one of these things I need to sit here and look at for a little bit to envision how this works. Because I'll tell you something, and I'm not meaning to tell my life story, but I don't have any problems with like nuts and bolts, like lefty loosey, righty tighty. I don't have any problems with that. But when it comes to stuff like distributor rotation and stuff like this, I have to. Oh man, it makes my brain hurt. So anyway, let me do that, and I will not bore you further. If I can get this put back together and I think it's going to work, we'll continue. If not, we'll just have to buy one, but I hope we don't. So let me see if I can pair this. Okay, excuse me. I think I know what's up with this. This thing is actually supposed to have a hook on the end of it. This spring is actually supposed to be turned around, like, you know, 100 degrees, something like that. It's supposed to have a sharp hook because what's happening is the way it's sitting in here is just dragging along the outside of this housing. There's nothing. It's supposed to catch right here. That's what it is, and it's not doing that. So just cheap made stuff. Let me see if I can put the hook back in this with my needle nose without breaking the end off the spring. And even if I do break the end off the spring, so what? I just put another hook on it. So bend another hook. So alright then, so my intuition didn't fail me. All I required it to do was just put, or it required me to do, was just put the hook back in this thing. And the way this is designed is supposed to kind of keep this hook captive, I guess, and keep it from spreading back out. But place it back in there in the appropriate area, and you can see that it works. So now, I don't know what happened. I don't know if when the if they just pulled it and it just, I don't know. Who knows? I don't know what they did. I'm going to put it back together and see if it works. So I got some string here. I think I'm going to go ahead and just use this. I was going to try to be a cheapskate and use the one that's already on that handle, but it's probably not going to be a good idea. I'm glad on these handles that they take into consideration people that don't know much about engines, that they print on it embossing this pull to start. You know, I don't know if they thought maybe you're supposed to rub it on your head or chin or stuff, or smell it or taste it or something. I don't know what they thought. You know, bang it on your head, or not Monty Python. You do everything but pull it. So anyway, just being silly. All right, let's put this thing back together. Caught fire on me. This stupid handle had a staple in it. Believe that? Tecumseh's so cheap they wouldn't even tie a knot in it. Jeez, that's okay though, because an application of some brute force with a hammer changed its mind. So now let's see if we can get that out of there. Look at that. What the hell? Stapled the thing. And I have to ask, why is there a knot on the outside of the handle? Oh. Whatever. Sometimes you see it all, man. Alright then, so I think I've got a good enough knot here. That's one other thing I'm not an expert at, and that's making knots. So let's this thing ready to, oops. Draw it back in there. Don't go too far. Oh no no no. No you don't. One right there just to keep that from happening. Look at that. That would have got me, wouldn't it? So now I put the put my scissors in there to keep it from accidentally going all over my pick right. I use my pick. Keep it from going all the way in there. How much rope do I need? Half of it left. How does Musty get it done so quick? It takes me forever. Is that good? Yeah. That's because he's the man. When you demand, you get things done quickly. Oh, don't do that now. Yeah, this handle's probably was not intended to be reused, but yes. Let's help it out. Yeah. There we go. Come on. Looks like several things weren't planned to be reused. Alrighty then. Alright, I'll fish this thing through, see where we get. Yeah, well, somebody, not naming names, but somebody realized finally why the knot was in the rope out here. That's so if your handle breaks, then it won't draw all the rope back in there. I didn't think of that. So I know, you ran your mouth before you knew what you were talking about. Mr. Expert. Some kind of smart guy over there, huh? I'll tell you something though, it's a good thing for this knot, because this rope they sold me at the lawnmower place down there in Huntsville. You know, where Councilman Shaw will go down there to get parts for his chopper. That's probably the cheapest rope I've ever seen. And so, I've got this thing up on my mini bench. I really need one of those lifts Rusty's got. I'll start looking for one of these. So, anyhow, I'm going to pull this gas tank first because it's in the way of a carburetor removal. Not necessarily, but if I don't, then I've got to reach up under here and crane my neck a lot to do that. You know, I'll be having neck problems anyway, so the more I can remain in a comfortable seated position, the better I am off. Thank goodness for a plastic gas tank though. Boy, I say this much, I sure want me one of them nice battery powered impacts and all that, but gosh, they're expensive. Okay, so we have a clamp down here. Sorry, you guys can't really see much. I'm trying to share space with you here. Fuel line clamp. So let's see if I can, pardon my head, if I can get that off with my hugely oversized needle nose. I have a normal pair somewhere. I don't know where they went though. Almost looked like the gas line was leaking, but not much space in here. I think it's going to follow me in probably. If it does it once, it'll do it again. Get out of here. Get out of my life. Right then. Clamp down there. Let's see if we can get the fuel off. Hey, I got something for that. I'll be right back. Don't fall over here and knock something down. Ding. I bought these a while back, and these are hose pliers rather. And the idea is just to grab the hose and yeah, that hose is breaking off. Sure enough, I'm gonna have to put a hose on it. See? Okay, there be our carburetor. So there's nothing to this thing, really. This one is a primer bulb carburetor, but the one I'm going to put back on it's got a choke on it, so that's good. So let me get a wrench here, and hey, I might have one right here in my portable tool box. Sorry guys, there's such a bad angle. Roll you up a little bit, you can see a little something. Just two nuts on there, that's good. It's a Tecumseh. You know, the argument between Briggs and Tecumseh is another one of those flashpoint type arguments that guys either love Briggs and hate Tecumseh, or hate Tecumseh and love Briggs. But hate one, love the other. That's what I was afraid of. This thing got a bolt on the back of it. Damn it. So Tecumseh's out there, you know, they're not the original. I was watching Howard's video, Old Car Alley, and he was just talking about Tecumseh. You know, Howard's a small engine mechanic, or was at one point, I believe. Ooh, okay. That's going to be interesting. And explain the history of Tecumseh. they are not doing outdoor power equipment power now, I don't believe. So this nut is kind of like, makes me wonder if this is a carburetor that actually came on this. But you know what? I don't care, because it's messed up anyway, so to speak. This is another three-hander. Okay, we gotta take that gutter leakage off carefully. It's another thing I dislike working with is gutter leakages. You notice that if you can see that or not, I'll take you off the stand here to show you something a little amusing. Shaky camera. The intake port where the carburetor mounts up is only half the size of the port that's in the venturi of the carburetor. That's me. I just work here. So I was looking for a name on this carburetor and I don't necessarily see one or a number. I just got this or something here. Yeah, I don't like primer bulb carburetors whatsoever, so we'll keep that in reserve. I got to take that adapter off. It's got a speed control, stop, rabbit, turtle. Need to kind of look in there at that shroud and make sure there's not a nest in it. Kind of interesting. The PCV crankcase breather here is just vented to the atmosphere. I thought by then they had to reclaim it back into the carburetor, but I guess not. This engine's a little, everything's a little oily down here. I don't know if that's indicative of a issue, but it's got plenty of oil in it. Right there, well, there you go, Sears Roebuck. I don't recall offhand how much these things are new, but okay, guys, I'm going to quit being boring, and I'm going to go in and get my carburetor and put all of this thing back all together, because my camera battery is getting a little bit low. So we're going to get this all together and we're going to do a cold start. See you in a moment. Thought I'd give you a quick look at these two carburetors. They're a little bit different. The fits right on and the linkage is fine and everything, but as you see, this one that came off of it's a primer bulb, and this one has a choke on it, and that one that I put on has an adjustment mixture screw, I guess, and this one doesn't. And that one I put on has got a longer fuel inlet than this one does. And right there was something else. Everything was, oh yeah, that one's got an adjustable idle screw on it. I see that too. One thing I'm not sure about is this governor thing. This thing looks like it's trying to push it wide open, even if you don't want it wide open. But I think one snafu is this little arm right here is conflicting with this nut, so it doesn't go all the way wide open. But I think until I'm sure that this governor is going to work okay, I think I'm going to leave it like that. So throw the damn crankshaft out of it. All right then, guys, I'm going to finish putting her together. Okay, it's that time again. Don't know what this thing's going to do. I got some two-stroke gas in it to help it lubricate itself. Carb's on, fuel line's on. It's pretty full of something that appears to be oil. So let's just try it. All we do is try it. Place your bets. Full throttle, choke all the way on. disengaged. Well, okay, that was easy enough. I got my cord caught in the wheel over there. That governor is not working, that throttle control, because that's what I had to do, get over here and do it manually, because if I didn't, that thing just go wide open. So that ain't right. So I guess I'll have to stew on that a while and see what's up with that. But hey, just started right up. First pull. Can you believe that? And I'll say this, for that Chinese carburetor, it worked. So I don't know. Maybe I've been wrong this whole entire time. I don't like Chinese stuff as a rule. But, you know, if we can make it this cheap, this good, we should have done so. That's all I can say. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll tinker this a little bit more and get that carburetor throttle control dialed in. Let me show you exactly what it is. I know Howard, you watch my videos, I'm sure glad for you too, and you know these small engines. So let me, before I sign off, let me just go ahead and show you real quick what this thing is, and maybe you can, or anybody else, I'm sure a lot of you guys are knowledgeable also, can kind of point me in the right direction here. Okay, so this is what we got. This is just a standard little Tecumseh, I guess, but it has a throttle control, and then it's got, I don't know if you can see up in there, but it's got a full, that appears to be a throttle stop for the high speed part of it, and it's got a spring. It's going to leave it there with a spring on that end and the bottom hole, and then it's got the spring there runs over to right there on that part of that lever, and then it's got the control up there for the throttle itself at the end. And what's weird about this is even though this carburetor butterfly is spring loaded to close like that, it's supposed to be, that's closed. When I pull on it, that closes the throttle. And it's spring loaded in here in the carburetor to be that way, but this thing is constantly trying to push it open. So like if you go up to full throttle, it like really pushes it as wide open as it'll go, and I don't see a need for it to run that fast. I mean, it's just an edger. We're not trying to, this ain't a concrete saw or something like that. It needs to run that fast. So anyway, you guys feel free to offer me some advice on this. I don't really know much about it, so thank you so much for watching, and sorry for the flashlight cam, but even so, she's a runner. I'm glad for that. So maybe my journey with Ager will stop here. See you guys. You see that purple martin zooming around? Not those guys. There he is up there. Hope you can see him. He's catching bugs. I can tell you with some authority where he spends the night. that out. I think so, at least. At least one of them lives in my chimney, because I just heard him make his call they make, and I've been hearing him in the chimney, and you know, popular legend is that only chimney swifts live in chimneys, but that's not a chimney swift, because he makes, I thought that, I've been hearing it, you know, when I sit in there to watch TV and stuff in the chimney, and it doesn't bother me, but I thought that's a purple martin. I said, I grew up hearing those for years. My grandfather had, when they lived up here in Tennessee, they had, their house wasn't laid out like this, of course, but they had, the driveway went down, they had martin houses and gourds across there, and my granddad, religiously, if you can say that, made sure that only purple martins lived there. He ran all the starlings off, but anyway, I've heard purple martins my entire life, and those are purple martins. There's at least one roosting in the chimney. And you know, I got here just a little bit too late this year to get martin houses up, because they get here pretty early, and they scout for living, you know, living space, and they readily nest in martin houses. But I just didn't have any houses and didn't have it set up, so if the future holds for me to be here a while, then I'm going to put houses up. The only thing about it that bothers me is that you put them up, and then, you know, if you leave, they're going to come the next year and look for your, unless you leave the houses up, they're going to come next year and look for them, and, you know, they're going to be gone, so that's not good. But anyway, he may have taken off. He may be living someplace else. There's a silo right over the rise over there. You can just see the top of it, and I'm sure there's plenty of birds living in that thing. But got bluebirds living in the garage roof here, and a martin living in the chimney, and all kinds of stuff. I didn't see any birds for a long time up here when I got moved, but all of a sudden they're all here. So, okay guys, well, I'm going to quit yakking. I'm going to get things. Oh, there he comes. I hear you. I just heard him. Where are you, bud? I hear you flying around up here. You know, they eat insects. There he is. Look how fast. There he goes. See? Did you see him? He went right down to the roof there. All right. I knew I was going to catch him landing in there. I hear him over there. Oh, he's just as happy as can be. Let's walk over and see if we see him. Try to be careful, I don't want to alarm him. Yeah, he's probably in for the night. I can hear him in there. Well, this is hard. I didn't know they lived in chimneys. How about that? And I didn't know they lived by themselves, like kind of solitary. Oh, okay. Well, he's welcome to stay here. I'm not going to build any fires. See ya.